just pure hits. Over the last 10 years, we've turned great moments on the pitch into winning moments for millions of people. Made for the moment. Bet Naija. Some moments can be intense.
Your peace.
But these are moments that are just pure hits. For over the last 10 years, we've turned great moments on the pitch into winning moments for millions of people. Made for the moment. Bet Naija.
So the team list for the Super Eagles is out. It's been out for a while, so let's just serve you that. I hope we can put it on graphics. Waidu will take us through that. It looks like it's a straight 4-3-3. Ajayi Basi Tanimu, Osai Samuel at the back. Onyedika Iwobi and Ndidi in the middle. And the front three that finished the game against South Africa. Yes. Chukwueze, Lukman and Murphy are the front three. Of course, Chukwueze and Lukman down the flanks, Murphy through the middle.
I like the three in the middle, and I like the three up front. I mean, you cannot get anything better than this. You have Chukwueze, Lukman, and of course Murphy. Murphy, we saw his game when he came in. He was always running. I mean, that's what I like about his game. You never see him standing. Whenever you put the ball past the defender, you will always see Murphy run to that ball. And that's going to be an advantage.
It does look to me, though, that maybe Basi will play left back. Because
Osai will play left back. Tamino again. Exactly how we played against South Africa. Okay. But I hope he's learned a few lessons from that game against South Africa, and is more alert to his position as a fullback than the central, the defensive.
It will be slow.
Yeah,
so it shouldn't be.
So you know, he has to really be aware. Sometimes when we are attacking, there's a tendency for him to move into the middle of the pack. I don't know whether that's an instruction from the coach, but then he really has to be aware of his position as a right back. Osai is definitely going to be on the left as he was against South Africa. But he needs to be wary of the pace of Olaiton Jr., particularly on that right side of Benin's attack. So these are some of the matchups that will be interesting to see.
And I hope Dele Bashiru can also come in.
Later on.
We don't know how fit he is.
How bad the injury was. If
how
really
important is Iwobi today?
Well, Iwobi, you know, when it comes to play, you know, dictates the movement in the middle of the pitch. And that's why he always have to be very effective. He must come to play. That's one thing about Iwobi, unless he doesn't want to play. If he wants to play, you can see him sprinkling passes all over the place. And that is what we need from him today.
Okay, so let's go to what our producer called the game changers. A couple of players from either team that might make the difference. I think by zone high standards, Ademola Lookman, maybe a 6/10 in the last game. If you can up that to like a 7 or an 8, we know what he can do. And that man, Stephen Monet, we really have to watch it with him and the pace and his knack for scoring goals.
Absolutely, that's an interesting one. Lookman, I hope. I know from the press conference that I listened to earlier today that the Beninois are planning a special strategy to curtail him. Yeah, and I hope I hope it can be a good distraction for them, so that while they are focusing on the Lookman, other players can come in and do the job. So, but for Steve Mounier is in a rich form of vein of form, He's getting goals. His confidence is good. But I'm confident that our central defense of Semi Ajayi and Basi can handle whatever threat he throws up in the game. He's also very strong and it's pretty experienced. So it's some battle that we also look forward to.
While the game management, game management,
the chances will come for the Super Eagles for sure at today's game. So we must take all those chances.
Game management,
now,
first 15 minutes.
Yes,
what's your mindset?
Yes. To start with, we must not allow them score us first. So whatever we're doing to manage that game must be us scoring Benin first. So that's to say that the first 15-20 minutes, you must play compact. You know, you must keep your shape whatever you're playing, especially against teams that you don't even know much about. You know, like Tony said, they've got fast-paced players that can run behind you. So let's be compact, let's go together, let's keep the, you know, everybody on that field has his own task. And if you lack in your task, that's what brings deficiencies. So everybody must play together, play as a team, and of course,
so let's take a look at Benin's lineup for this game. That's it. That's their lineup. Of course, the usual suspects are there, particularly the ones we mentioned. Olaino is there. Monet is the captain. Olaiton, sorry. Olaiton is there.
And
Dosu is there. And Mounier is the captain.
And you can see Mumini, number 11, Kiki, Otunji. You know, these guys are very strong, physically strong guys. And since he became coach of Benin Republic, he's introduced a lot of young players who, he's been building up with the friendly games. One thing we cannot draw is that once he gets his team, his starting team, it's always difficult for him to change.
To make changes,
I said, while we've called this a must-win game, we also have to be very cautious. If you cannot win this game, don't lose it.
Well, how do you qualify for the World Cup?
No, but if you cannot win this game, don't lose it. You have to be very careful. If the scoreline is maybe 0-0 up to the 85th minute, and we are pushing forward, we have to be careful not to allow a counter and then concede a goal. So it's a must win, but if you cannot win, don't lose it.
That's not a prediction,
yeah, but
if you ask me, I think Nigeria will win to this game, and I think I want to believe that it's going to be, it won't be nothing less than 2 goals. For
saving grace. So it's 5-4-4-4-3. If Nigeria can manage to string a couple of wins together, it might take you very far. So that's the way it is. And nobody would have thought Lesotho and Rwanda would be topping this table after 3 games.
Yeah,
but it is.
They are temporary leaders.
What it is. They are. There's a lexicon in locally now. They are placeholders.
They'll still come down.
Hopefully, they'll be placeholders. We're going to have to take a break now. We'll return and take you to the game.
Some moments can be intense.
Your peace.
But these are moments that are just pure hits. For over the last 10 years, we've turned great moments on the pitch into winning moments for millions of people. Made for the moment. Bet Naija.
Benin versus Nigeria is proudly brought to you by Bet Naija, made for the moment.
Spot in the table, third place, of course, and as I mentioned, with 4 points already taken from their 3 games, with Nigeria 3 points from their 3 games, and of course a victory here today for either one of the 2 teams will lift them to the top before the other clashes take place. And of course there are other games that have been playing a little bit later on. Tomorrow, in fact, South Africa take on Zimbabwe at the Free State Stadium in Bloemfontein, followed by Lesotho, Rwanda at the Moses Mabhida Stadium in Durban. The officials today, well, you have Pierre Acho is the main official. Match for Benin in the midfield, Hassan, Steve Mooney, and Doku Dodo, who plays for Smuha in the Egyptian Premier League. Leading at the front, Pierre Acho, as I mentioned, of Gabon. Plenty of experience, has coached numerous matches in recent editions of the Africa Cup of Nations, but also African Champions League and Confederations Cup action. Very familiar name in the African circuit. Nigeria, well, we've got Stanley Nwabali's the man at the back, of course, in goal. Ajayi with Tanimu and Ndidi and Calvin of Fulham, and Osai Alex Iwobi in the midfield with Onyedika. Ademola Lookman is the man down that left side. Chukwueze and Mofi will make up the front runners as Nigeria go in search of their first win in Group C. Not a done deal, of course, up against Benin as referee Pierre Acho gets the game underway. Of course, the Super Eagles playing in green goes without saying, with Benin in yellow. Alex will be trying to deal with that, and it's been a good work by Doku, dispossessed and knocked down to the ground. Nigeria picking up possession. Chukwueze, the player, hitting the deck on that occasion. Lookman with a nice little touch there, and a good opportunity for them to push forward. Waiting for a little bit of support with Osai. Gets the ball back to Iwobi. Dropped into the penalty area, and the bounce just goes a little bit past the ever dangerous Lookman and out of bounds. Over the line, goal kick it is for Marcel Janjanu. South Africa based, playing his fourth match for Benin. And getting himself just ahead of the goalkeeper, who's basically been the standout man at the back for a few years now. Saturmin Alagbe. Well, not afraid to attack. Good work in the midfield, but dispossessed. Iwobi getting the ball out and picked up by Lookman. The Atalanta man, who is just on fire at the moment. Very capable of breaking, splitting defence, and he scored goals here. I think that's what you've got to look at. He managed to score the winning goal against Angola in the quarterfinals of the last edition of the Africa Cup of Nations, but also managed to score 2 goals against Cameroon. Wonderful defensive play at the back, and a good chance Nigeria on the attack, and just dispossessed. Good work there coming from that man Tijani, and as the ball comes out to the right hand side, Dosu picks it up, restrained. Give him a tough time at the back and prevent him from just getting a bit of space. He will unleash shots. He will try and test the goalkeeper. Nwabali, there is no doubt about it, and third highest scorer for Benin in the history of the team's records. Of course, Stefan Sassignon is the top boy. Jodel Dosu, 2 players in the top 6, of course. He's got 9 goals in the 61 matches that he's actually played, Jodel Dosu. So the 3rd and the 6th highest scorers for this West African nation. Used to be called the Squirrels, now they're called the Cheetahs. Gives them a little bit of a better image. Slightly more voracious. That's a big, strong challenge there coming in from the captain, who came back and got in the way. The referee's just calming things down. The ball back to Benin. Infinity George, his second game in charge. Jose Pizarro is the man. Here's a good break and opportunity. Racing through the middle, the shot comes in. It's not a... He doesn't get past the defenders. Lookman tries to weave between the Benin defense, but goes down, looks up to the referee. There's nothing that's being called, of course, but I'm sure that he'll get another chance to do that and find a way through. Hassan, the 21-year-old, plays in Egypt for Modern Future. Attempts to try and kick the ball off the defender there, Chijani. Calvin quite happy using Stanley Nwabali, good goalkeeper, former Enyimba player. Now in South Africa with Chippa United. Give them lots of credit at the last edition of the Africa Cup of Nations, of course. That's a really good ball, that is. Nice touch as well from Iwobi. Back out to the left-hand side. Picked up and taken forward, an opportunity. Osai. Good use of Lookman on that occasion. Little touch potentially. Is he offside? Well, the flag went up, and you could just see just sneaked on the wrong side of the last defender, and you can see that that went down well with Huntonji, the Angers centre back, who will be very happy with that. Just look at Lookman there. Fraction offside, I think, despite the fact that there were two Benin defenders. There is Yanadroa, 5 years coaching the Super Eagles. Been around the block, of course, coached Gabon, Niger, Burkina Faso as well. And Bordeaux in Liga in France, where he used to play. In fact, he spent 12 years playing in a wine country in the southwest of France. French is very good, enabling him to communicate really well with the Benin players, of course. Did lead Nigeria to the 3rd place on the podium at the AFCON 2019 in Egypt. This match was played against, they managed to edge Tunisia. It was was Igalo who managed to score that goal in Cairo. The competition was won by Algeria, of course, and that deflected shot that Bounedjah got on the end of just after 2 minutes, and they locked down the defence and made it very complicated in that final against Senegal, with Algeria celebrating success, first time in nearly 30 years. But of course Senegal winning in Cameroon the following edition, before Côte d'Ivoire taking the honours earlier this year. Battle taking place. There's Calvin, the Fulham left back. Happy with the idea that it was a good way to split the defense, but very tricky when you're trying to set up your teammate. Got to get the right moment to just get up and move and try and race onto the through ball without being called offside. He was called offside, of course, by the linesman. It was very visible from that angle as well. Jose picks the ball up. He's got Lookman down to the left. An opportunity here for Nigeria. Waiting for a little bit more support. Mumini's back in position. There's the shot coming in. Not a bad one at all, coming from the ever dangerous Brido Said. Just a little bit wide. Calls for the corner, but I don't think there was contact, and it will be a goal kick. But ever so dangerous. Good work from Lookman. Sets the ball up perfectly for the Fenerbahce man, who unleashes that shot, and it's just wide of the target. Marcel Janjinu flings himself out to the left-hand side with that left hand of his, trying to clear the danger. Doesn't need to make any a little bit too hard. David Kiki, the 30-year-old. Then and that will be a free kick. Apologies from Russia. Promising signs. Managed to keep his position in this Benin national team. Great. They win a corner. Finidi George, the man in charge, former right winger. What a wonderful player he was in his day. Now in charge and at the top of the pile behind this Nigerian team. coached Enyimba, former winners of the CAF African Champions League. There's the delivery into the penalty box. Anybody on the end of it? There's a bit of holding there by two players. Looked like it was Doku and Iwobi. In any case, ball flicked back in. Goes out wide. Nicely done. Good pass there by Calvin into the penalty box. Headed away. And it was a good header as well. Necessary coming from man who just put himself into that position, David Kiki. "15 minutes in, opportunity to put a little bit of pressure on the Benin defense. It's short from Tanimu. Lovely little slip pass, Wilfred Ndidi over towards that man, Lookman. Well, he was in two minds of going one side or the other. And finally it was Mini who read it better. It's a good play from the 19-year-old. Didn't get spooked by the ever-dangerous Ademola Lookman and all of his fantastic artistry that he's capable of producing on this pitch here in Abidjan. Seen it before, we'll see it again. Calvin. Back to left back. Well, he did well to outside. He just get rid of his defender. Where's he going to go? Left, right? We don't know. Into the penalty box, far post. A great opportunity. It goes way over the top. It was, well, just lingering with intent, hoping that he could just sneak and go around the back and get on the end of that, but not the case. There will be a free kick. And Mooney just running straight into Semi Ajayi. West Brom man not taking no for an answer. You're not going to get past me like that. There you go, let's have a hug. But you're not going to skin me or sneak past me, as they say. Junior Oletan, 22 years of age, midfielder, 7th cap for him. Plays for Chamois Nyote. They often do well in their French Cup. Oletan with a delivery penalty box, goes a little bit too far and away from Mooney, who can't latch onto that and trouble Stanley. Header just to get the ball to Jodel Dosu. Kwesi. Calmly getting the ball to Calvin. Got numerous players just look so